Looking for trouble? You came to the right place. If you're looking for...
Hi everybody, I just thought I'd do this bit of a fix on how I resolved problems with my VHF radio. And you can see there it's on channel 16, it works and everything like that. But the problem that I'd got was that although in the marina I could get the marina to respond to me, which I thought, radio's working fine, so off I go sailing, 20 miles out and all the rest of it. When I called the Coast Guard for a radio check on channel 16, I'd got absolutely zilch, nothing, and not receiving any information or weather reports or anything like that on channel 16. But then when I come back into the marina and called up the marina again, the marina's responding within a short range. So I've really had a problem trying to fix that. But through some diagnostics and help with my brother, who's an electrical technician wizard, we actually fixed it today and resolved the problem. So I just thought I'd talk you through what we did. When the radio was connected directly to the mast, when I took it down in the cabin and connected it up directly down there where all my electronics are, it worked okay. But when I fitted it in the helm and the cable between the electronic suite and the helm, I had that problem. And even though I'd fitted a brand new coax cable, checked all the joints about 3 or 4 times, I still had this problem. This was over about 10 weeks or so of trying to fix this, and finally we diagnosed it today. So what we did, we used a multimeter and put it onto 20k ohms and checked the cable to make sure that it not got a short. And if it's not got a short, it should be reading 000, nothing. But actually, when I put the probes on the inner and the outer of the socket here, you can see the inner and one on the outer, it was actually reading. So that meant that there was a short circuit. Well, there's a short circuit, but the plugs looked okay and everything looked stripped back and fitted correctly as per requirements of the plug. So it was a real mystery. So after a bit of to and froing, I kind of looked at these plugs and thought, hang on a minute. When I look down the hole there, I can actually see the brass of the inner. That means that when I pushed the coax cable right inside, it was butting right up against that internal brass ferrule. So that was my short, and I think it's because these plugs that I'm using are not that good. What I ended up doing is putting a little plastic sleeve over to make sure that the outer did not connect with the inner terminal. And then I'd got 0 on here, and I knew that my cable run was good. Here's the offending plug, but it does show the construction, so I'll just point out the components. You've got the inner terminal, which fits into the back of your radio, and then you've got the outer with these little grippers on that also connect to the radio, but on the outside, and never the two should meet. And here's the coax cable with the outer and inner, with the outer peeled back, and just one of those tiny little strands there that's touching the inner will cause a short, and that's what we thought it was initially. But actually, what I've done is I've done a diagram here that shows how it should go together. which is with the outer sheave, the outer bundle that's in the back of the connector, the inner, which is the white plastic part, being insulated from the inner core, and this item here, which is item C, is like a Bakelite insulation pad. So in this diagram here, the inner cannot touch the outer sheath cable. But what was happening with my situation, and the reason why I'd got the short, was that when I looked down the end of the plug, I could see here that this item B here was visible. Can you see here that item B, which is the pin, cannot be seen if you look through here, because it's got this Bakelite plate in place, so it keeps the two apart. But on the plugs that I'd got, I could see the brass if I looked down, and what I did by mistake is I pushed the outer cable, so that'd be this part here, pushed it all the way down, as you would expect a mechanical engineer to do, and that's you know, do a really kind of secure job. But what happened was that it was shorting out between the outer and the inner here, and that was what was giving me the short. So what I did was I made a little doohickey, as they're often called, which was this little black sheath here, and all it was just a piece of the outer cabling that I pushed down, and really just to keep the bundle away from the inner, and then everything tested out without a short and everything was okay, after all the heartache and worry as to why it wasn't working correctly. You can actually see the brass at the bottom, and that's what was causing the short. So I called up the Coast Guard, and this was the result. And let's call the marina and see if they answer. Brixton Marina, this is Mystique in the marina for a radio check, over.
Clear, over.
All loud and clear. Let's try the Coast Guard, channel 16. This is the one, because even with the bad connections, I could still get the marina, and that's why it screwed us up in the other ports, because I could get the marina, so therefore out I went sailing, and then tried to call the Coast Guard for a test, you know, 5 miles out or whatever, or even further, 20 miles, and it didn't work. Let's see. Set the old squelching. Falmouth Coast Guard, this is sailing yacht Mystique for a radio check, over.
Yacht Mystique, this is Falmouth Coast Guard, you're loud and clear, channel 16, Falmouth Coast Guard out.
Thank you, out. Eureka!
Don't know if it's what I smoke, don't know if it's what I drink.